You have some experience of working with energy majors in terms of these are companies with huge scientific hinterland, with huge R&D. How can you work with them as a data and technology specialist to help them achieve getting them into this energy transition equation?
How do you enable that cooperation? Be it the public-private cooperation or the intra-industry cooperation. And a large component of that is data. If you take, for example, Scope 3 emissions, which I'm sure is a topic that we'll get onto, that is a very, very large portion. In some cases, for some businesses, it's 90+% of their emissions. And while it works to do the aggregate and the estimated, the sort of the macro picture that you described, James, if you get down to the granular level of an individual business and then down to the decisions that need to be made at the coalface, as it were, to start to influence this, you need that granular data, you need that granular information and understanding those trade-offs between taking path A versus path B. And then layering on top of that, you need to start sharing that data between different organizations. And in the case of Scope 3 with a supply chain, you might have organizations within that supply chain that don't fully trust each other or maybe in competitive dynamics. And therefore, the sharing of that information can be very fraught. And so there's a data governance problem that sits on top of the foundational technical problem of how do you make that data accessible in real time and accurate and so forth. That's something that we have, both those problems are areas that our software has been used to address for a long time. In some senses, in fact, our origins in national security, that was the data governance was the first problem we helped that sector solve. How would national security intelligence agencies share information with one another in a very low trust environment where actually you might be able to see one subset slice of some information but not the full picture because you have a common threat and an interest in collaboration.